Hi there, my name is Professor Stewart and welcome to CCRI's English 1210 Introduction to Film. Today we will be looking at Blackboard functionality and the course syllabus. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll see here we are on the landing page for English 1210. The first item you'll see is the Welcome Start Here menu, which make sure you review everything in here. There's the course announcement. If you haven't read that, please do. There's some information about me, the course syllabus, and a helpful tutorial here with a lot of information about how to navigate and submit assignments and things here in Blackboard Ultra, just in case you haven't used it before, okay? We do have Unit 1 visible here. This is the first unit module. A module is essentially a drop-down menu with each of the assignments included. Each assignment will tell you what to do and how to submit. Some of the items are just to watch, etc. So just follow those instructions. We also have a few more resources here at the bottom, how to submit assignments, participate in discussions, and then also we have in the writer's resources module here a sample paper and then some other resources that will be explained a little bit later on, okay? But without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and we'll jump into the course syllabus. Okay, so I'm just going to go through here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. I won't read everything, but just the essential material. For the most recent version of the syllabus, you'll want to take a look at the PDF in the Welcome Start menu. I may update the PDF, but not necessarily record a whole new video on it, okay? And so, I understand many of you aren't looking to pursue a film career and you're just taking this for a gen ed or an elective. And so that's sort of who this course is geared towards. So you're in the right place. Let's take a look at the course description. The course provides an introduction to the tools of film analysis by examining how narrative, mise-en-scène, cinematography, editing, and sound create meaning in film. Film is also examined for its social, cultural, and ideological significance. Okay, and so that's what we hope to do here. You'll see that this course does satisfy requirements for gen eds and transfers to URI and RIC. There are no textbooks to purchase. The course outcomes are what I am going to teach you, and you're going to show me that you've learned. And so let's go through these really quickly. The first one is display a working knowledge of film techniques, offering descriptive examples. And so you're going to show me this. One way is through the 3-term slideshows you'll be creating. You'll be creating slideshows that define and provide examples of some of the terms. Okay, and the second course outcome, identify and describe distinct cinematic elements pertaining to genres and directors. 3, analyze films for their structure and meaning using appropriate terminology. 4, writing analytically about films using MLA guidelines. And 5, effectively communicate ideas related to the films during class and group activities. Okay, so a lot of this will be through the analysis papers we're going to write. A good portion will also be through the Blackboard discussions, journals, posts in there, and then ultimately you'll see is the OTER project, which is our final project. Okay, so that brings us next to the grading for the course and grading weight. You'll see the slideshows are worth 15%. The class participation is 25%. The analysis papers are 30%, and the final project is 30%. Here is a grading scale. The grades in Blackboard will be entered as a number, and then at the end, for your official grade, I will convert this to a letter. And so you can see here how I do that, and you can refer back to the syllabus. There is an overall grade column in Blackboard grades, and so you'll be able to follow your grade as we go through the semester, and you'll know pretty much day by day how you're doing in here. Okay. Late policy. All written assignments must be submitted by the time and date they're due. This is an asynchronous online course, which means we don't have class meetings, but we do have due dates. We have weekly due dates. And so your job is to uh, read the information and submit assignments to the best of your ability. I don't expect you to write as a film critic or um, an expert on anything. It's just you writing the best you can from where you are. So one of the initial assignments will be to for you to confirm that you'll follow the syllabus and follow the writing originality statement that I've posted. And so we'll get to that in a little bit. The second point here is for each day an assignment is late, your grade will be reduced by 1/2 letter grade. And so while I do accept late work up to 1 week, beyond that, you will get an F if you turn in an assignment that's more than 1 week late. And finally, the OTER project will not be accepted late, and no work will be accepted beyond the final post due date in Blackboard. Each the text chapters, you'll be submitting a few summaries of the text chapters. Now, you're welcome to buy the book or just follow along with the link in Blackboard and read those. You may not agree that either with sentiments in the movies or you may not like the movies, etc. The point here is we're watching movies to analyze them based on film elements. So it's not the class isn't really about liking or disliking them. It's just sort of about analyzing them based on the film techniques that they use. And finally, in this section, if there is a movie that we assign that is you have difficulty with the content, please let me know as soon as possible, and we can try to find you a replacement for that. Okay. You'll see in the PDF, you'll have all these blue underlined sections are links. So you have a link to the student handbook, how to properly submit an email. Give as much context as you can. Okay. Please take advantage of the CCRI computer labs. If you ever have trouble with your computer, the library actually will loan out laptops if you need, and you can also go in and use the computer labs. Okay. I do need to submit a verification of enrollment for this course. And so what that means is if you haven't had any interaction with Blackboard, you'll by the posted verification of enrollment date, then you'll be dropped from the course. And that goes for face-to-face too. If you don't show up for the first 2 face-to-face meetings and in-person classes, you get dropped as well. So if you're here watching this, you're probably doing okay. Make sure you get in and complete as many assignments as have been due already. And the academic integrity section is about doing your own work. You, in the first Blackboard discussions, analysis papers, you will not use any research. You will only use what's in the movies and the course Blackboard resources. And so once you open up that internet tab, then you will need to properly cite using MLA format. If you do not, then that's considered plagiarism. So do your own work. Stay off of ChatGPT. Um, stay away from Grammarly. Grammarly is is commonly used, but you're not going to be using it for this class because that will show up as AI. And so please write from where you are. Use the tutoring center. Use the writing center, and they can help you to kind of get your writing into a sort of shape that you're happy with. The DAS office sends emails and posts accommodations letters, and so you don't need to worry about that. I'll see those letters, but if you would like to follow up, then please do. Advising is there for you. If you ever think you're in the wrong place, then make sure you get to your advisor and make sure you're in the right course. Veteran services, be sure to use those if you feel that it's in your interest to let your professors know that you're um, National Guard or maybe called up for duty, have other responsibilities, then let your instructor know at the beginning of the course, and there's not any surprises or last minute things like that. It's good information. Okay, again, the tutoring center, the writing center are there for you. I've used writing centers all through my education. I worked at the writing center when I was in grad school. It's a great place. Beginning writers to PhD students use it to help to revise and improve their writing. So writing is recursive and requires revision and rereading, and you may run your ideas by family members or friends, things like that. But the point being that you will not use Grammarly for this course. You will not use ChatGPT or other AI tools for this course. It's just you in the movies, sort of demonstrating your understanding from the course outcomes we covered earlier. Okay, and so those are the main points of the syllabus. The last section here is the course outline, which is an aspirational document. This is what I hope to get to and the time I hope to get to it. Be sure to follow the Blackboard modules for the actual work to be completed. This is just to give you an overview so you know what's coming. Okay, we can zip through that a little bit. You'll see those terms slideshows we talked about, and there'll be instructions for that, but some of the terms you'll just provide a definition, some you'll provide a definition and a image, and some you'll provide definition and a video clip. All right. The first movie we'll be watching is Punch Drunk Love by Paul Thomas Anderson. Then we'll be moving into the French New Wave. We're going to watch Breathless, jumping back in time a little bit to 1960. Then we have Mike Nichols' The Birdcage, which is really fun. And then the first analysis paper will be due in week 5, and that will be on one of those 3 movies or some combination of them. Okay. And again, the point, a lot more information is coming on that, but the point is you'll be using course terms, course concepts to analyze, let's say, 3 scenes, for example, from one movie, or a few scenes from a few movies if you see points of comparison like that. But again, this is, if you think of the analysis paper as a final exam, it's just a chance for you to demonstrate what you've learned. Okay, that's why we're not going to use any research for that. We will be moving on to week 6, and we have films directed by women, a really good documentary called Half the Picture. And so then this is where we get into a couple of your choices. So we have a student choice for film directed by a woman. Then we have a student choice for a film from the Criterion Collection. Again, most of these are going to be in Canopy. Some of them will be in Tubi, or you are always welcome to borrow DVDs from the library. You can go to the CCRI library or your local public library, and if they don't own it, they can get it for you pretty quick. And that's a nice free way to get the movies. Then we are moving on to Donnie Darko, Black Klansman. We have a short film choice. We're going to look at a little bit. And then we have our second analysis paper coming up in week 11. Then we get started on the final project. And this is where research will come in, and we'll start opening up those internet tabs and see what are other people saying about my chosen director. So the auteur project is your chance to focus on either your favorite director or a new director you've discovered, and really dig into a bunch of movies by that director. What are other people saying about it? You'll watch maybe some YouTube videos about the director, and you'll be zooming in on some signature trademarks by that director and how they show up in several of their movies. And final draft will be due in week 14, and that takes us to the end of the syllabus. And so that is our short screencast on Blackboard functionality and the course syllabus for English 1210, Introduction to Film. Thank you so much for watching.